Buying or selling real estate can be stressful. After all, it's not any old house we're talking about, it's your home. So when it's time to buy or sell, you want to make sure your search is in capable hands. That's why we turn to Angie Cole and the team at A. Cole Realty. You've seen Angie featured on HGTV's House Hunters. Realtor magazine named her one of the top realtors in the country. And just ask us, the numbers back her up. So listen up as we cover all the ins and outs of buying and selling a home here in the Triangle. It's time for the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Savvy Realtor. I'm Walter Storholt alongside Angie Cole. She is the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle. Check her out online by going to acolerealty.com. You can find out all about the team there, see what homes are for sale in the area, and learn a lot about planning for buying or selling a home here in the area. You can even listen to past shows on the website and learn helpful information. That's ACOLE Realty.com, acolerealty.com, or you can call or text Angie at any point in time during our show today. 919-538-6477 is that number. Again, local 919-538-6477. Angie, thanks for being here this week. How are you?
Hey, doing wonderful. Thank you.
Glad to hear it. And we'll look forward to today's show because it's another one of our favorite editions. It's where we take all email questions all show long from our listeners. So we're going to the source for the kinds of questions that you're getting probably each and every day from people here in the Triangle wondering about how they can best buy or sell a home in the area. So let's start off with one this week. We'll jump right in with a question from Corey in Raleigh. And Corey says, we're looking to relocate to the area. We currently live about 8 hours away, so I guess Raleigh is probably where they're moving to. What's the best way to house hunt when you don't already live in the area? Should we just schedule one long trip or lots of mini trips to look at homes? What's the best approach in a situation like that?
That's a really good question, Corey. We actually work with people that are either, out of town, out of state quite often, and it can be really difficult when you're not here locally just to be available to look at homes whenever they pop up and, come active and on the market. So my suggestion would be to allow one of our buyer specialists to set you up on an automated search. The whole point of an automated search is we can narrow down to your minimum requirements. So we can say, okay, we're only looking at homes in Raleigh with this price range, minimum square footage and bedroom count. And then from there, you can get an idea of what each area has to offer. Because a lot of times you're looking on maybe a Zillow or Realtor.com and you see something that's too good to be true, because it typically is too good to be true. Because maybe it's not the location you prefer, but it has everything in the home and at this great price. So it's really a good idea to kind of follow the market and see what each area has to offer and, what type of home, how large, what price point you can get in each specific area. And then what I would do is like maybe a specific weekend, take a very long weekend and come down and take one trip. I think it's a great idea to go ahead and knock out as many showings as possible in that weekend time frame and make it a goal to find a home that weekend. If you are like coming every weekend or every, couple of weekends, what will tend to happen is you might find one home you love, but you say, you know what, we'll be back in 2 to 3 weekends. We'll look again. Maybe there's something else we'll like better. But then that first home that you fell in love with will no longer be available. So it can be tough when you're really dragging on the process. So once again, allow us to set you up on an automated search, which will be real-time data. And then from there, schedule a long weekend to come down and view homes and really try to narrow down that search to find the perfect home that works for you.
It sounds, Corey, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Angie, that you're suggesting, if you're local in your search, you can be a little bit more broad because you have the ability to drive by and look, dabble a little bit. You can take your time a little bit more because if you don't like, option B that you wanted to go check out, option A is still available because only a day has lapsed, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
But if you're further away, be a little bit pickier, be more selective, be a little bit more firm in kind of the parameters that you set with your initial online search, and then that'll really narrow down the homes when you do come to take that one long weekend or something like that to make it easier to choose.
Yeah, I agree. And typically whenever a buyer is going through the home, they don't try to fall in love with a home. They try to eliminate.
Right.
So, choose 10 of your top, favorite homes. from there, when you start going through, eliminate, as you're viewing the homes to narrow it down to the perfect home, because typically there's never going to be that perfect home. There's always something about every home that we all want to change. But yes, when you're not local, it can be difficult because you can love a home, but you want to see what else is out there.
Right.
And then you can lose out on that home because we wasted too much time. And, we're still in a very strong seller's market. And if you drag your feet for too long, you're going to miss homes because they will go under contract.
That brings up another good question, Angie. You mentioned your top 10. Is that kind of how many homes in a long weekend you'd recommend checking out? Is sort of 10 the magic number?
I typically say 10 is the magic number. The reason being, if you narrow it down to my top 20 favorite homes, the home search process is not exciting at that point. It gets to be overwhelming. They all run together. You can't remember this home from that home. So, with narrowing it down maybe to your top, 10 or 12 homes, from there you should be able to select, okay, this is the best option. If you leave kind of the range too broad, I tend to find that you're just adding homes to the list just to look at homes. And there's really already something, well, maybe we can deal with a master on the second floor.
Right.
Where you've already made it clear to us as your real estate agent that a master on the main floor is a must. So, really only focus on homes that fit all of your needs and don't kind of, start straying because it just gets to be overwhelming and then the process is not as exciting.
Even for someone local, is 10 homes still sort of the idea, or does it typically end up being more than that with folks?
That's what we tend to find. I mean, there's some people, we showed them one home, they fall in love with it, that's the home, they live there forever, and it was perfect. We find others that need to see a lot more homes, but I would say on average, most people, they look at about 10 homes, honestly more of like a 7 to 10 homes before, they decide to make an offer on one.
A lot of it probably comes back to how much research you've done online,
True.
How many homes fall into your parameter. If there's only 3 or 4 that you've been seeing that kind of fall in your range, then you may not go look at 10 homes, whereas if you've got a huge possibility of searches, maybe you do dabble in a lot more. I know when I bought my first, and also first home buyers, I imagine would look at a lot more homes, not really having all of their specifics drawn out. I mean, I just know now from my first home buying experience, we were considering townhomes and single-family homes out of the gate.
Which can pretty much double that number then.
No kidding, because townhomes are aplenty, especially for the price range we were in at the time. But after looking at and it took 3 or 4, and we just said, you know what, we really want to go the single-family home route.
Yeah, we want the land.
That helped narrow it down, and I think we only looked at maybe 4 homes.
Right.
So I think we were right in that 7 number probably for our first home. But now I know next time around I'll probably have a much narrower window because now we've developed all these, picky things about certain things. Well, I want it this way. I want it to be like this.
Exactly.
Where we were pretty wide open on the first home.
And once you live in a home, you really, you understand what's important to you.
Right.
Where, before it was, this is not a big deal, but now you understand that, no, a large master closet is a must for us.
Right.
I'm not having my wife kick me out and, get the little linen closet for my clothes next time.
That's me. I'm the second bedroom is my closet.
Exactly. So, but you don't think about those things, when you're looking for the first time because you haven't, I guess, been dealt with those battles.
Sure. Or they just weren't important to start with.
Yeah, and that's true too. As we age, our families might grow, things change, and so what's important in the beginning with the first home, other things might be more important the next go round. So, Corey, it sounds like you're thinking about buying a home, which of course our team would love to be your go-to and be your real estate agency of choice. But a great way to get started to understand the home buying process is we can offer you a home buying guide, and you can receive that by downloading it to your smartphone. You can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888. So once again, if you're thinking about buying a home, we would love to offer you our home buying guide, and you can receive that by texting the word contract to the phone number 555-888.
This guide will just kind of take you through the process, what it's like to look for homes, submit an offer, how some of the paperwork is involved, and just kind of walks you through the expectations of the home buying process. A lot of people kind of wonder, all right, where do I start or what's going to be next in the process? And you can kind of refer to this guide to help you down that path. Again, you can get this directly on your smartphone by texting the word contract CONTRACT, contract. Send that to the number 555-888. We'll text you right back with a link that you click on, and you can view that home buying guide. You can even download it to your phone. All you have to do, again, is text the word contract to the number 555-888. In the message field, you just put the word contract, and the number that you send it to is 555-888. Corey, great question to start us off this week here on The Savvy Realtor. Angie, I've got another one here for you from Jan in Fuquay. By the way, if you'd like to submit your questions to be featured on a future show, you can go to acolerealty.com. Jan says, I think we're going to need to redo our downstairs flooring before selling. What's best to put down these days? Carpet, regular hardwoods, vinyl, et cetera, et cetera?
Jan, I'm typically seeing that most buyers prefer on the main level some type of hardwoods. So whether it's the real hardwood, a white oak, a red oak that has been refinished, sanded and stained, or maybe more of an engineered hardwood floor, which just means that it's made, at the manufacturer and then delivered and then installed on site, which actually some engineered hardwoods can cost more than the real on-site finished hardwoods. There's all different lines of hardwoods. And then there's also the laminate hardwoods as well. It really depends, though, on your neighborhood and area. We always talk about over-improving for an area. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that we're picking options and choices that are in line with what other homes are doing. But whether, once again, it's the real on-site finished hardwood floors, the engineered, or the laminate hardwoods, I typically find that some type of hardwood floor on the main level is going to be most appealing for buyers.
You got these Pergo things now and Life Proof, and I know we did vinyl, I think, up in the bedroom and the bathroom. And it's awesome. We like it a lot. I would be nervous to do the whole downstairs in that just because it's different, but it seems to be effective and looks pretty.
Does it look like a hardwood? The vinyl looks like
it's like the hardwood look.
I've seen that. That's really neat.
It feels really good on the feet. Now the one we have, it has a little bit of grooving in it, so it feels nice for that small space in the bathroom. I'm not sure if it would. I don't know how it would do in the main.
And
area.
Is it one sheet or is it kind of glued down pieces?
These were almost like the puzzle pieces.
Okay,
kind of tongue and groove, maybe. I don't know if that's the best way to describe it, but they're like normal planks that you then just kind of piece together.
But it's more of a laminate, not like a vinyl hardwood. It's more of like a laminate hardwood. I would say
maybe it's laminate. I can't remember if it was laminate or hardwood.
Which I'm seeing that in a lot of homes. Depending on your price point and the location, once again, that's 100% acceptable. And they look gorgeous. And I typically find that buyers will prefer that versus carpet. They really do. It gives it that sleek look. Typically, there's less maintenance, especially
these are waterproof. So
I was going to say,
the helpful part. That's why we did that in the bathroom.
Which I wouldn't typically suggest like a real hardwood or even an engineered hardwood in a bathroom where there's a tub. It's okay for a powder room, but anytime you have that much water, that's just asking for issues and for it to swell. But that laminate choice, that's a great idea.
And the nice thing with these, too, is you can, if a piece did go bad or something like that, you can cut it out and replace it with another one. So,
be good to go.
It's a little bit easier maintenance-wise, and it was pretty easy to install as well. So.
That's wonderful.
Tip if you ever do that, though, make sure it says, you can cut this with an X-Acto knife.
No.
Well, you just better have a really good
X-Acto knife,
we bought new X-Acto knives, but probably not the best we could have bought. It did make the job a little bit tougher. So
really?
Buy a really, really good X-Acto knife or another slicing tool, if you will. So it made the job slightly more difficult, but that's all right. It was good learning.
Too funny. We live and we learn. You'll be good to go next time.
Good question, Jan. If you have questions about the real estate process, whether you're buying or selling here in the Triangle, you can reach out directly to Angie Cole and her team right here in the Triangle, serving you not only in Raleigh, but all the surrounding communities. 919-538-6477. That's the number to call or text to ask Angie a question about your situation. 919-538-6477. She can get back to you either right away or a time that's convenient for you. 919-538-6477. If you'd like to set up a complimentary seller's consultation or buyer's consultation, Angie can do that with you over the phone via text or call 919-538-6477. 6477 again is that number. Another question here from Larry in Holly Springs, Angie, and Larry says, I've lived in my home for a few years while not much growth happened in the rest of the neighborhood. But now homes are going up left and right, and it's time for me to sell. I'm competing with all these new builds while my house is a couple of years old already. We're having trouble drawing attention. How can we compete with these brand new homes?
Larry, I'm seeing that a lot, and especially in Holly Springs. There's so much growth, happening with the new builds. And so we find these neighborhoods where there's pre-existing homes, and then builders are coming in, buying up the lots and building a newer product. And so, your competition, even though it's not a direct competition as far as value, as far as comparables, that is direct competition for you when you have the new builds, being built in the exact same neighborhood. So my suggestion there, you really need to make sure that you are pricing yourself correct. First of all, you need to make sure that your home shows great, you did staging, you have professional photography, the marketing is to the max to make sure we're marketing your home well, but it really is going to boil down to price. I went on a listing appointment recently. This one was actually in Nightdale, but same idea. It was a home. It was a resale. Even though it was a brand new home, they hadn't even been in the home for more than a year. They was still competing with the new construction. And, their thoughts were, well, new construction's selling here. I can just list my home at the same price point. But that's not true. Of course, why would a buyer buy your home when you've already lived in it? Right. When it has a little bit of nicks on the walls and, it's shown that it's been lived in a tad bit versus a brand new home. So I typically find that you need to price yourself a good $10,000 or less below the new builds to make yourself stand out. And once again, it really boils down to marketing as well. So make sure that you're working with a real estate agent that has top marketing advice and direction to give you when it comes to listing and selling your home.
The knee-jerk reaction for somebody in Larry's situation might be, well, let me do a bunch of improvements to get it up to snuff with the new homes. But even with some improvements in a situation like that, it's still hard to compete against brand new.
It really is. And remember, too, with improvements, you don't always make your money back 100%.
Yeah.
So it might help it to show better. Cosmetic improvements, they get that wow effect. The extra bells and whistles are always great. But you also aren't just going to get a higher price point. So it really boils down to the marketing. And unfortunately, you will have to sell your home for less when you're competing with the new construction. And so, Larry, of course, I would love to give you some advice on, your competition and where we should be priced in order to get your home sold. And a great way to get started is understanding the value of your home. And I have a really wonderful system where you can inquire about what your home is worth. And that's easy to do on your smartphone. You can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888. From there, a link will be sent to you. Just click the link, input your property address, and then the value will come to you probably within about 5 to 10 minutes. So once again, if you're thinking about selling your home and you want to understand the value, you can go ahead and text the word listing to the phone number 555-888.
The great thing about this tool also is that it'll keep you up to date on your home's value as time goes on. So not only will you get an initial estimate now, but maybe you're not like Larry, maybe you're not selling at this exact moment, but you want to in the next couple of months, and so you want to kind of keep tabs on as the prices are going up and down in your neighborhood and how that affects the value of your home. This tool helps keep you abreast of those changes. Just text the word listing to the number 555-888. That's listing, L-I-S-T-I-N-G. Put that in the message field like you're sending a text to a friend, and send it to the number 555-888. What'll happen is you'll get a text right back from us. Click the link, put in your home's information, and you'll be able to find out the value of your home that way. It only takes about 20, 30 seconds to do all that, depending on how fast of a typer you are. Text the word listing to the number 555-888 to find out the value of your home and get that initial estimate. Listing, send that word listing to 555-888. Some great questions so far on our all mailbag edition of the Savvy Realtor. The Neighborhood Spotlight is coming up next, and then we'll have more questions from folks just like you coming up on today's show. Stay right there.
Let's shine a little light on some of the Triangle's best areas right here on the Neighborhood Spotlight.
Thanks for joining us on the Savvy Realtor today. Walter Storholt here alongside Angie Cole. She's the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle, helping you not only in Raleigh but all the surrounding communities as well. Speaking of the surrounding communities, it's time for the Neighborhood Spotlight, where we feature a great area in the Triangle and give you details on a neighborhood that maybe you haven't encountered before. And I always like finding out about we really should just rebrand this to the nooks and crannies of the Triangle. That would be a good name for the segment, but we'll keep it the Neighborhood Spotlight for now. Angie, what's this week's neighborhood?
Yeah, so this week's Neighborhood Spotlight is located in Wake Forest, and the neighborhood is called Sharon Farms. Sharon is Shearon. So just make sure you get the spelling right there. So Sharon Farms, it's kind of on the border of Wake Forest and Raleigh.
Okay.
It's just north of 540. So a quick hop on to 540 right off of US 1 Capitol Boulevard there. And Sharon Farms actually has been building for quite some time. They have many different products and options as far as single families, townhomes. They have a newer product that's being built currently as far as new builds, which is being built by Dan Ryan Builders. And these are all townhomes. So brand new townhomes, square footage ranging from 1,500 square feet up to about 1,800 square feet. The price point is in the 170s up to the 210s. With these townhomes, they're wonderful because they have 4 bedrooms and 3 full baths.
Oh.
You don't typically find that in a townhome. You typically get the 2 full baths and a powder room.
Right.
So they do have it broken down to a 4 bedroom, a 3 full bath. These townhomes have a parking pad that go along with them. They have all the updates as far as the 42-inch cabinets, granite countertops, stainless steel appliances, tile backsplash, hardwoods on the main floor. So just really nice as far as the bells and whistles. And the location, once again, is wonderful. It's right down the street from Triangle Town Mall. Like I mentioned, 540. Just a quick hop to wherever you need to go.
A lot of curb appeal in this neighborhood. I mean, It's a very mature neighborhood, well-established. The landscaping throughout the neighborhood's gorgeous.
It sure is. And there's also the amenities, too. There's, the pool, the clubhouse, a playground, a lot of sidewalks throughout the neighborhood. So just a really good community feel.
Yeah, seems like a good place to kind of raise a family with that community feel, and just a good spot overall. And still room for growth in the neighborhood, it looks like, too. So.
They are still actively growing. And, like you mentioned, whether it be a family, a single person, an empty nester, there's kind of a home for everyone within this neighborhood.
It's going to be like Corey. You got all these established homes in the neighborhood, and now you have new stuff going up, too. So if you're looking to sell in this neighborhood, you might run into that same challenge that Corey was talking about.
That's true.
I guess it was Larry's question.
Larry, talking about dealing with the new construction as far as competition goes. Yeah, but I'm tending to find in this neighborhood, whether it be new construction or the resales, they're selling fairly quick. They're just at a really good price point that can be affordable for most. And so if you're thinking about buying a home or selling a home and you want to understand the process from start to finish, as far as connecting with a real estate agent, getting pre-approved, going through your wants and needs as far as, what you're looking for in a home, a great way to get started is by receiving our home buying guide, which once again can be great for buying or selling a home. It just walks you through the process and also will share with you terminologies because I know contract paperwork can be very confusing and it's great to understand what each term means. And so if you would like to receive our guide, you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888. So once again, on your smartphone, to receive our home buying guide, you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888.
Again, just send that word contract to the number 555-888, and you can view, and if you'd like, download that home buying guide right there on your smartphone. Just text the word contract to the number 555-888. You'll get a text right back from us with a link. Click on the link and you can view that home buying guide. Useful resource. A lot of people text in for that each and every week, and we're happy to provide it to you today. Just text the word contract to the number 555-888, and you can view Angie Cole's home buying guide. This is the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole, and there's more coming up on today's show, answering more of your questions coming up next.
Make your home stand out from the crowd. It's time for Stage This House with Amber Cole of Spencer Properties.
All right, our question this week, Amber, comes to us from Rush in Raleigh. Rush says, I want to declutter my home, but I also want it to look like somebody lives there. How do you strike the balance?
It's really a delicate balance because when you live in your home, you decorate it to your style, and it should be comfortable and it should feel great when you're in your home. When you're selling your home, you want it to feel like buyers, and you want to feel like anybody could live there, really, and that they can picture themselves in there. So, it may be removing your belongings, personal belongings and artwork, any collectibles, things of that nature, family photos, just kind of removing your personal style and taste out of the home. And then you can add your warmth with things like throws and pillows and decorative accent colors. It'll still feel homey. I think most people kind of feel that it looks bare when we're done. However, to the buyer, it gives them an opportunity to come into the home and picture their belongings and their things, and then it's more personal to them, and you have a better chance of getting an offer.
It's so important to stage your home properly. Doing it wrong can ruin the first impressions of buyers who come through the door. This can cost you valuable time and money, but if you get it right, it can help your home sell on time at the best possible price. We get questions like the one Amber just answered all the time at Cole Realty, and we're happy to answer them. But realize that it's very important we customize your answers based on your home, because every home is unique. So here's what we're going to do. As a thank you for listening to our show today, we'd like to offer you a free staging consultation. If you call or text us right now, we'll set aside time on our calendar to come meet with you in your home for a free consultation. We'll show you how you can improve the layout of your home, best position furniture, wall art, and all those kind of things to make your home sell fast and for top dollar. Just text the word staging to 919-538-6477 to schedule your complimentary consultation. Just put the word staging into the message field and text it to 919-538-6477. And if you prefer to call, that's fine too. Just use the same number, 919-538-6477. That's 919-538-6477.
It's getting to know you time here on The Savvy Realtor.
It's time for Getting to Know You on The Savvy Realtor. This is where I get to ask a random question of Angie Cole, your Savvy Realtor here on the program, the owner and broker in charge of Cole Realty. We learn all about the real estate world, but what about the Realtor that we talk to every week? This is where we get to know her a little bit better. So, fun question for you this week, Angie. This one is probably an easy one. What's your favorite TV show, or what was your favorite TV show as a kid? Not now, but when you were a kid, what was your favorite?
Yeah. So as a kid, it would be Full House.
Full House was pretty good.
Can't go wrong with Full House.
Yep.
My favorite on there was Stephanie, the blonde. She would be the middle child, I guess.
Yep.
She was definitely my favorite, and I think because at that time I was similar in age. But yeah, I was a ongoing Full House time viewer, and I love the show. It never got old.
You still watch reruns?
I can't say that I do.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, they did come out with the new show.
Oh yeah, isn't there a Fuller House?
Fuller House, yeah. I don't even know if that's still going on or not.
Did you try it?
Yeah, I did, but
okay.
I can't get into
But
it. It's just not the same.
Those reboots never seem to be the same or work out. Yeah.
And I mean, it's cute, but as you get older, it's just not the shows that I typically watch now. But yeah, growing up, I loved watching Full House.
I can't look at Full House the same now that I know Bob Saget's personality. Like, if you've seen Bob Saget in anything else, I mean, he's definitely a little crude and out there.
Yeah,
and it just doesn't jive.
I know. Like, what happened to the sweet daddy figure? I know.
Yeah.
It's a little disturbing, I guess, to say the least.
It's pretty crazy to see him go from one role to the other.
Oh, yeah.
Like that, for
yeah,
sure.
definitely complete two different people.
Now, when we watched Full House growing up, pretty much every episode would end with, I thought this was good. Mom and Dad and I would, discuss the episode at the end and the life lesson that was learned from that. And I always thought that was kind of, that was kind of good. And I liked those discussions. That show was always really good for sparking those, nice little lessons at the end.
There was always a problem. And then it's like, the family was all happy in the end and everything was fine. And you're right.
Here's how they solved the problem.
Yeah.
But they had tackled important issues. Like they didn't shy away from stuff.
It's true. And it's, as a kid, you're not watching the show even thinking about that. You're just kind of watching the storyline. But you're right. They hone in on, just different life issues and family problems. And then, how do we resolve those issues? And everything's going to be okay.
Yep. I thought a lot of the stuff that they talked about on the show ended up being pertinent to everyday life, even though it was a show all of teenage girls growing up. I was still able to connect with it as an only child boy. But I thought it was a good show.
Yeah,
that's a good pick.
It was. Thanks.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Love me some Full House.
There you go. Favorite TV show as a kid, Full House. I won't say that's my favorite from being a kid, but
what was your favorite?
I definitely was a Full House fan. I guess it depends on where we are as kids, right? Because I couldn't be torn away from Power Rangers, but then obviously that came to an end when I would probably still be considered a kid.
Right.
And then it transitioned probably to some other Hey Arnold was definitely, that was on
I've
Nickelodeon.
never seen that. Okay.
I loved Hey Arnold. My dad and I would watch that all the time together. And we just loved it. We'd watch it on the weekends together, and it was just a really cool show. I like Hey Arnold to this day. It's a good show. Yeah.
It's funny you mentioned Power Rangers, because my daughter, not now, she's about to be 11, but when she was younger, she went through a phase where she loved Power Rangers.
They're still
I
going.
Love to see,
I guess.
I want to say when she was 4 or 5 years old, she was the pink Power Ranger for Halloween.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Power Rangers, Full House, other cartoons. Good to reminisce about those times. All right, that's getting to know Angie Cole a little bit better here on today's program. We'll get back to the real estate talk coming up next.
In the age of Trulia, Zillow, and the hundreds of other realty websites, it's hard to know where to begin when buying or selling your home. Keep listening to this Savvy Realtor to learn how to cut through the online clutter.
This is the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole. Walter Storholt here with you as well. Angie is the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty right here in the Triangle. If you want to find out more information about Angie and her great team, you can go to acolerealty.com. Find them on Facebook and Instagram. Just look for Angie Cole. And you can also listen to past shows on the website, by the way, acolerealty.com. Cole is C-O-L-E, by the way. acolerealty.com. It's also where you can submit questions to be featured on a future show, and we have several more to get to on today's program. Every once in a while, we like to do a full mailbag edition, if you will, here on the Savvy Realtor. We've got another one of those in progress as we speak. 919-538-6477 is your number to call or text if you have any one-on-one questions for Angie. That's 919-538-6477. We don't have to feature your question here on the show. You can just get in touch with Angie directly that way. 919-538-6477. For those who wanted their questions featured on the show, well, here we go. We've got a couple of other good ones, Angie. The first one comes to us from Diane in Raleigh. And Diane says, my husband and I are retiring, and we're actually thinking of moving closer to downtown and maybe living in a condo instead of a home. I don't know of many other folks our age giving up their home and a yard in retirement for the condo life. Is this really unusual, and do you think we could be happy in that condo setting at our age? And if so, what spots do you suggest we look into?
Diane, this is actually very common. I tend to find, as we all get older in age, things like yard maintenance and upkeep with the home are less important and just not something we want to deal with. Maybe we like to spend our time traveling instead. Maybe just, the luxury of enjoying gardening and doing the landscaping. Maybe it's a little bit tougher on us as we age. So, a lot of buyers and sellers, I'm tending to find that they are looking to downsize and go into more of a maintenance-free environment. So whether that be a condo, a townhome, where the HOA is managing and keeping up with the exterior of the home. I'm also seeing the great option of the active adult living, where you're in some are 55 plus, some go to the 50 plus as far as your age. But a lot of these homes in these type of neighborhoods, they can even be single family homes, but the HOA is still maintaining the exterior of the home. So there's less time spent on the outdoors. You can enjoy the indoors. Also, like I mentioned, spending time with your family, traveling, doing whatever is most important to you. So there's a lot of different areas for, this type of lifestyle. Like you mentioned, moving closer to downtown Raleigh. Downtown has many things like, the Quorum. We have the PNC building. We have 222. There's so many different condo setups where I tend to find, every age group loves to be in that type of atmosphere. So it's not just an active adult or someone who's looking, to maybe retire. I'm seeing, young professionals. I've seen some families with maybe one kid or two kids that are living in this type of environment. Also, like I mentioned, the active adult neighborhoods. So there's really popular neighborhoods built by Del Webb. The most common one probably is in the Cary location, which is called Amberley. There's also other ones in Durham. There's many different locations just popping up here and there. But once again, with that type of lifestyle, it's limited to the age. So you have similar people living in the community, and they really focus a lot on community events. So there is something going on every single day, so you can really meet and greet and know your neighbors, but also have less maintenance as well.
So it sounds like just kind of think about what is it about the condo or downtown lifestyle that you're looking for. If it's just to get away from yard maintenance, that might open up your options a little bit, because you don't have to go downtown to find that condo setting, or you could still have the single family home as you mentioned.
For sure.
So just kind of think about what is truly important to you in that situation, Diane, and that might impact you. I think, did you ever see the show Parenthood? Did you ever watch Parenthood?
I have, and I'm drawing a blank though.
They just went through this exact situation in that show.
Yeah.
They were retirees. All the kids were kind of grown and gone, and the husband wanted to stay at their house that they'd lived in for 30, 40 years.
Right.
She wanted to go and kind of have a little bit more of that downtown lifestyle.
I was going to say, maybe it's more of just walkability.
Sure.
Maybe it's not so much of the maintenance-free lifestyle, but maybe it's just, hey, I don't even want to deal with a car anymore or as much, and be able to walk to shopping and restaurants and just more of that kind of active lifestyle where I'm not driving, 30 minutes into town to be able to do those sort of things. So
my grandparents are going through this right now, actually. Now, they might be a little bit older than maybe where Diane is in life if she's sort of recently retired. They've been retired for quite some time, but they're going through that conversation. They live, this is in New Jersey, but they live in, just your regular neighborhood, but not walkable at all. And they're kind of, because of eyesight issues and things like that, they're losing the ability to drive pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
They don't
when they're
drive
trying
at
to find
night
parking spaces too. I mean,
exactly.
Anytime there's an area where it's like, just driving like in New York and New Jersey, I would freak out.
So they're just looking to move to stay in their town, but they're starting the conversation of maybe it's time we move a little bit closer, just so that we can still have some freedom to go out and eat. And because now they can't ever go out to eat if they want, because they can't drive back at night.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so they're kind of stuck, and they love to go out and eat and explore and that kind of thing. So that would give them more freedom.
So still, stay active and be able to walk to their, local grocery store, or like you mentioned, go to a restaurant, but, not have the inconvenience of, it's now nighttime, it's dark.
Right.
I can't get home.
Right. Yeah. It's a really good question, though, Diane. And you're not alone. A lot of people going through that kind of situation right now, and probably having similar conversations to you. So don't be afraid to reach out for guidance and advice. If you want to learn more about some of those buildings downtown that Angie mentioned, or some of those neighborhoods in the area, you can call or text Angie directly at 919-538-6477. Again, that's 919-538-6477. And Angie, these folks would probably also benefit from the buying guide that you and your team offer.
Yeah, we have that home buying guide that we would love to share with you, that tells you about the process from start to finish, and just gives you some guidance on terminology and where to get started. So if you would like to receive a copy of the home buying guide, you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888. So once again, to receive a copy of our home buying guide on your smartphone, you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888.
Again, just text the word contract to the number 555-888 to get that home buying guide right to your smartphone. The number is 555-888, and just text the word contract to that number. Great question, Diane. Thanks for that one. We've got one here from Betty. Hey, Angie. She's in Angie plus R, or Anger, as many people call it. How long do you think it's going to take to sell a home in today's market?
I love how you were just joking about Angie plus R, because growing up, I actually grew up in Anger.
Right.
And people all the time, all my friends would be like, Angie from Anger.
There you go.
So, yeah, I've heard that one more than once.
If only it was Angier.
Yeah.
Angie from Angier.
So, however you want to pronounce it, but I've heard that joke before.
But you're a local. You know how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Oh, yes. But yeah, Betty, you're in a great area. The last couple of homes that I've sold in Anger have just flown off the market. Of course, it always depends on your price point. If you're a very expensive home in Angie, it might not move as quick, but depending on price point, your home and size and location in Angie, the average days on the market are actually moving right along, and we still have very low inventory. And so, Betty, if you are thinking about selling your home, a great way to get started is by understanding the value of your home. And so we would love to send that your way. And to get a preliminary value of your home, you can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888. So once again, if you are thinking about selling your home, whether you're in Angie, in Fuquay, Raleigh, Knightdale, wherever you're located, we can send that your way. It's as simple as texting the word listing to the phone number 555-888.
That's a great way to get an initial estimate on the value of your home with a simple text from your smartphone. Just text the word listing to the number 555-888 and click on the link that we text back to you and put in your home's info. Only takes 20 to 30 seconds to do all that. Just text the word listing to the number 555-888, and that should help you out, Betty, find out the value of your home, which is a great first step to selling your home. Liam in Garner has our next question, and Liam says, what's your best advice for a first-time home buyer?
Liam, you need to take the guidance of your real estate agent. And on my team, we have 3 active buyer specialists who have all been in the business for several years and who are wonderful with hand-holding to really just, focusing on, all right, this is what you need to do now. Mm-hmm. Then here's the next steps. If you get ahead of yourself, I can tend to see that the process can become, stressful. Definitely. It won't be as fun. And so make sure you take the guidance of your real estate agent and just, listen to exactly what they tell you to do at what point. What I tend to find the best advice would be first connect with a real estate agent, which of course Cole Realty, we would love to help you out with buying a home, and then from there we can connect you with one of our preferred lenders. We love working with our preferred lenders because we know that they're wonderful when it comes to customer service. They have competitive interest rates and they close on time. And having someone who will always answer the phone whenever we need them, whether it's 8 o'clock at night or it's on the weekend, it's important to make sure that we get you closed on time and to make sure that you clearly understand the financing side too of buying a home. So the best advice I can give you is take the guidance of your real estate agent because they know this process. They've been through it many times, and they will also be upfront and honest. We are always, upfront and honest with our clients in regards to, hey, yeah, this location is great, but we do know this, road is going behind this home. Or, hey, look at this, there is some stucco on the exterior of the home. Here's the pros and cons of that. Mm-hmm. So we want to make sure that you truly understand the home that you're buying, and, if there's any maybe, complications that could come along with, the current condition and the age of the home. So, Liam, it sounds like you're looking to buy your first home, which, congratulations. That's super exciting, and it's never too soon to start that process. And we would love to send the home buying guide your way. And so you can text the word contract to the phone number 555-888. So, whoever it is out there looking to buy or sell a home, whether you're a first-time home buyer, a move-up buyer, or you're downsizing, we would love to send you a copy of our home buying guide, which will give you some great information on the process. And that's as simple as texting the word contract to the phone number 555-888.
Again, great way to start that home buying process is to get that guide on your smartphone. Just text the word contract to the number 555-888. We'll text you right back with a link. You can click on that and view the home buying guide. You can also download it to your phone for later use and viewing. Just text the word contract to the number 555-888 to view Angie Cole's home buying guide, teaching you all about the process from start to finish, from contract to close, as they say in the business. And you can learn all about that buying process. Very helpful, especially if you're a first-time home buyer or if you just need a refresher if it's been a couple of years. I know 5 years out from buying a home, if I were looking to buy again, Angie, I would need that guide for sure because I've forgotten steps of the process.
Yep.
So just text the word contract to the number 555-888 to get that home buying guide. And stay right there. More coming up on today's edition of the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole.
You're listening to the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole. Let's get back to the show.
Time for the Mortgage Moment here on the Savvy Realtor, where we answer a great question about what's going on in the mortgage world or about that part of the home buying and selling process. And Angie, for the Mortgage Moment this week, we've got a good question from Katrina in Durham. Katrina says, I've seen a lot of stuff in the news lately about changes to the tax code. Good point, Katrina. There has been a lot of things in the news about that lately. Will they have any effect on the housing market and on what we can write off on our taxes and that kind of stuff?
This is a really good question, and unfortunately, I can't give you any type of a tax advice, but I could tell you, what I think we'll see within our market. I don't think that this will affect our market locally here in the Triangle. With the tax changes, anyone who owns a home less than $500,000, you'll still be able to deduct the mortgage interest on the home, so up to $500,000. So in our market, our median price point is definitely much lower. Mm-hmm. I might see that this would affect in other areas where the median price point is higher, maybe like a California or, New York. So maybe they'll see a little bit of kickback and I guess implications because of the changes in the tax code. But here locally, I don't think that this will affect our market at all.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good analysis there, unless you're looking at a, much higher price point home, then maybe it could have an influence on you. But for most people, it's not going to have a big impact.
And to me, too, it kind of is what it is. Mm-hmm. If you are set on a certain price point, above the 500 mark, you going into it, you need to know that, with all these changes that, possibly could take place, that you might not be able to save as much money when it comes to taxes, but I really think that that's going to stop someone from buying their $800,000 home. Mm-hmm. I don't. They're
not
just
enough to move the needle.
Yeah.
Maybe enough to draw some complaints and frustration.
That's what I was going to say. Other than complaining about it and just saying a few choice words, for a moment, it's not going to stop them from buying the home and the price point that they want. So I don't see that it's really going to affect our market at all. Yeah. If you have more questions about the housing market and, anything to deal with financing, I have a wonderful preferred lender that we work with. His name's Ned Ligon, and he's with Movement Mortgage. And he has a really cool mortgage app that you can download to your smartphone. And so with the mortgage app, you can get pre-qualified. There's a mortgage calculator. You can ask Ned questions. And so if you would like to download the mortgage app to your smartphone, you can text the word lending to the phone number 555-888. So once again, on your smartphone, if you would like to download a mortgage app from Ned Ligon with Movement Mortgage, you can text the word lending to the phone number 555-888.
Again, the word is mortgage, and all you have to do is text that to the number 555-888, and you can download that mortgage app. Useful tool. See the latest rates in the mortgage world, latest news and information and analysis, and you can even get pre-qualified, as Angie mentioned, right from that app. So it's very convenient. And Ned Ligon's put together a very nice tool for us here in the Triangle to utilize. Again, just text the word mortgage to the number 555-888, and you can download that mortgage application right to your smartphone. This is the Savvy Realtor with Angie Cole. The success story is coming up next.
Lenders, school districts, crime stats, inspections, due diligence, estimates. There's a lot to keep up with when it comes to buying or selling a home. It's easy to get lost in the details when you go at it on your own, but it's a different story when you have a savvy realtor to help keep you on the right path. So let's not wait any longer. Let's get back to the show.
This part of the show is called The Success Story, where we find out about a problem or issue that somebody ran into when buying or selling a home and how Angie Cole and her team at A. Cole Realty here in the Triangle helped them solve the problem. So, Angie, tell us about a time when you had to advise your client to walk away from a home purchase that they really wanted because you discovered a deal breaker in the process.
Yeah, we just had this happen recently where my buyer specialist, Chelsea, is representing the sweetest clients ever. And she went to make an offer on a home for them. And when she went to make the offer, of course, we always pull comparables and we give our clients advice on, an offer price. And even though we suggest offering this number, I wouldn't pay above this number. Well, with this particular home, the comparables were very straightforward. I'm not going to disclose exactly what the price points were, but, the current home that they were interested in, way overpriced. I mean, they were overpriced by probably a good $15,000 to $20,000. And I can actually disclose at that price point, they were in like the 150s.
Okay.
That's a big, overpricing of a home. And so when my buyer specialist made the offer for the clients or her clients, it came in a lot lower. Okay. The offer. Well, the seller and the listing agent came back and really wouldn't negotiate at all. And come to find out, the seller just said, no, this is what I want for my home, kind of take it or leave it.
Wow.
And our buyers were very bummed because they loved this home. But in that scenario, Chelsea, our buyer specialist, had to say, you know what, this is not the right home for you because you're overpaying big time. Not only will you be overpaying, but more than likely the home will never appraise. There's no comparables, that justify this price point.
So why walk down that road?
Don't even go down that road, start investing money into inspections, paying for your appraisal, when we know there's no way you'll be able to obtain financing for this home because it will never appraise. The exact same home, same exact floor plan had been completely remodeled, sold for a good $15,000 lower. So there was no way that this home was going to sell where it was listed. And it's an unfortunate situation. I would never take a listing if the seller just says, hey, I want this number for it. There's no need on me taking that listing to put my sign in the yard because I wouldn't be able to achieve that seller's goals and get that price point for them. They were being completely unrealistic. So, yeah, we've definitely had a situation recently where, we've had to tell the buyer, you need to walk. We need to now go find you another home. And with these sweet people, they are now officially under contract. I saw the email come across over the weekend that they are on another home. So, it's really our job as your real estate agent to give you the guidance, to make sure, not only are we guiding you, with the process of buying a home, but making sure that you're making smart buying decisions as well.
Yeah.
And it boils down to it's up to you as far as the risk you want to take. And if you really want the home, we have to write up the offer for you. We have to help you to get that home. But it's also our job to protect you because whenever it's time to sell the home, we hope that you'll come back to us and we want to make sure that you're able to sell the home because you didn't overpay. So if you are thinking about buying a home and you would love the guidance, our team, we're super active in the market. We're here. We're in the top 10 in the triangle. We would love to help you and give you guidance and just, be your advocate, protect you throughout the process and make sure that you are making good decisions and, not being just, sporadic and just jumping on a home because you love it. We have to sometimes, wheel you back in a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Patience is a virtue. Right?
Most definitely. So we want to be the voice of reasoning. So if you are thinking about buying a home, we would love to chat with you further, talk about your home search, start sending you some ideas and some listings and set up appointments to show you those homes. You can reach out to me directly on my cell phone. You can either call or text. I'm readily available throughout the week, evenings and weekends. My phone number is 919-538-6477. Once again, 919-538-6477, and I would love to start that conversation with you.
Again, you can call or text Angie at that number, 919-538-6477. That's 919-538-6477. Call or text to talk about your home search, what you're looking for here in the Triangle, and just start up that convo. 919-538-6477 is the number, and that'll put you in touch with Angie Cole of A. Cole Realty here in the Triangle. Call or text her 919-538-6477. That's this week's success story on the Savvy Realtor.
Light blue, dark blue, red. We all identify strongly with at least one of those colors when it comes to supporting our favorite schools and teams. So what color did A. Cole Realty choose for their logo? Green? Way to stay neutral there, Angie.
Getting ready to wrap things up for this week's edition of the Savvy Realtor. Walter Storholt here alongside Angie Cole, the owner and broker in charge of A. Cole Realty here in the Triangle. We've had a fun mailbag edition of the show today, answering your questions all throughout the program. Let's end it with one more here, Angie. It comes to us from Joseph in Wake Forest. Joseph says, how do you determine the list price for a home you're going to help sell?
Yeah, so it all depends on your location. We typically like to start off in the neighborhood if possible. If there's been enough recent sales, we pull within the neighborhood. If needed, we'll go a little bit further out. We never go more than a mile or two radius, though. The reason being, if we're looking at a home in North Raleigh, we can't take that home and then compare it to one in downtown Raleigh.
Right.
It's just not, comparable because the price of land will vary from location to location.
Even a mile can drastically change, neighborhoods and landscapes and all the kinds of different things.
Exactly. So especially like in an area in Raleigh, I typically will not go more than even like a quarter to a half a mile radius because typically there's enough sales in like just, localized in the exact area that would be the best comparables versus going a mile or two out.
Right.
We then will look at similar square footage, similar age, and similar style. For example, if we have a ranch home, we would prefer not to compare it to a two-story. We want to compare to other ranch-style homes. Also, similar age. I will not compare a brand new home to one that was built in 1980. It's just a different product. So, location, similar square footage, similar style, and similar age is how we come up with comparables. And then from there, I really get nitpicky. I look at the pictures. We look at the square footage. I look at what type of upgrades one home has in it versus our subject property. And that's how we come up with a value for your home. And so if you're thinking about selling your home and you want to understand the value of your home, before I even come out for a listing presentation, we can send you an idea of what your home is worth. And that's as simple as texting the word listing to the phone number 555-888. So once again, on your smartphone, if you would like to receive your home's worth and what the value is currently, you can text the word listing to the phone number 555-888.
Again, just find out the initial estimate on the value of your home by sending a simple text from your smartphone. Just text the word listing to the number 555-888, and we'll make sure that you get that text right back from us that has the link to click on to put in your home's information, and then you can find out the value of your home. Again, all you have to do is text the word listing to the number 555-888, and you can find out that value of your home. And it'll also keep you up to date as the value of your home changes over time. Just text the word listing to the number 555-888, and you can get that estimated value on your home. For Angie Cole, I'm Walter Storholt. Thanks so much for tuning in to today's program. We'll look forward to talking to you again next time, same place, right back here on the Savvy Realtor.